Hey everyone, Daniel here from Twin Bytes with another quick tutorial for you. This time with TeamViewer. TeamViewer allows you to remote control into any computer. So if you're wanting to remote into your office computer from home, if you're going to be working from the office for any particular reason, such as that of my other recent video, or maybe you want to connect into your home computer from the office, or your home computer from while you're on vacation, or you're helping out a friend or family member remotely with one of their needs. This program will allow you to do that as though you were sitting right in front of the computer. And I'm going to show you how you can set up and use this program from start to finish from both computers, so stick around. Alright, so starting with the computer that we want to remote control into. So this might be your office computer. You're going to go to teamviewer.com, and at the top we've got a download button, which is very convenient. And from here you want to make sure you select the correct operating system that this computer is. And it may detect it automatically, but if not, make sure you click on the appropriate one that you're using. For me it's Windows, so it's showing TeamViewer for Windows. And I want to download the tool. And depending on the browser you're using, it'll ask you to save or run. Now this program, you need to know, has the free version for personal use, which is personal to personal, so home to home. If you're using it, or even from your office into your home computer. But if you're using it for business purposes, for example, you're remoting into your office computer from the house, you need to ideally purchase a corporate license. But you're allowed to try this out first and see how it works for you. So we need to select two sets of information here. First is the default installation, which is good in most cases. And we've got the custom installation to allow unattended access support. This is what we actually want on our office computers, because if we have to restart the computer, we're going to want to make sure the program is going to continue to run so we can get back in there without someone requiring to be sitting at that computer and clicking to allow us access, which is what the default installation would do. We want to do this unattended because no one's going to be there to allow us to get in. If you are being asked to get the program so that someone can help you and they just need you to run this once, then you can choose this option here to just run it that one time and then remove the program afterwards. So it doesn't actually install it, it's just running it during that one session. We're going to choose unattended access. Then you need to choose what type of license you're using. So again, commercial use, they're going to want you to purchase the license after the trial. Personal use is free, and if it's a little bit of both, you can choose that and then see what they can do for you as far as licensing goes when the time comes. For now, we're going to say just personal use just to get through this. Otherwise, if you go to set up commercial use, they're going to want to gather some information from you just so that they can get you properly licensed after. But for the purpose of this video, I'm not going to go through entering the information because that's just standard stuff you would go through afterwards. And we're going to continue with this. So the installation is fairly short and quick depending on the speed of your computer. I've got a pretty fast computer with a solid state drive, so yours might take a little bit longer than this, but this is without speeding up the video, and it's done this quick. Now once it's installed, it asks you to set up your unattended access. So we're going to hit next, and it's got the name of the computer. We're going to want to put in a password here. and then we can hit next. And then here is going to be where the licensing comes in. If you need a free account, you can set one up. If you already have an account, then you can choose this option and simply sign in. But if it's for personal use, you don't really need an account, so you can say you don't want to create an account. Even if it's for business, you don't need to really set that up right away. I believe you can skip that for now, but you will eventually need an account if it's for business. Then it gives you your ID, which is what you would be connecting to from the remote computer. But we don't need to worry about writing that down quite yet, because it is over here on this screen. So when we hit close here, we're gonna still have access to that number, and more importantly the password as well to connect into it. So with this here, we now have unattended access to remote into this computer, and basically this computer can be controlled if anyone has this ID and password, and it's checked on to start TeamViewer with Windows. So when you reboot the computer, it will automatically launch itself again and allow access here. So anybody that wants to try remoting into this computer remotely, don't bother, because it's all going to be reset and deactivated before this video is even posted. So we're going to take a snapshot or write down the information here, because we're going to be needing this ID and password to connect to from the remote computer. Now we're on the remote computer. So what we're going to need to do is from here go to teamviewer.com again and download the software, choosing the appropriate operating system, and download and install this. So when we get to the point of choosing these options, on the remote computer we were choosing unattended access. We're not wanting to remote into this computer, we want to remote from it. So we can either say run once if we're only doing this one time, but realistically what you probably want is the default installation, so it will have it installed on your computer, so you could use it for remoting into or from. It goes both ways, but it won't be unattended, so no one can connect into your computer or this computer without the program running. Then of course choose your appropriate license, same as before, and hit accept, and it goes through again the quick install. Now we've got this computer set up with another ID and password, and what we want to do is we've got the information from the other computer written down here, so we want to plug in that partner ID or your remote ID into this window here. And you have the option of remotely controlling this computer or just doing a file transfer. We're going to remote control into it. And I should note, for the purpose of this connection, you don't need to worry about what your ID and password are. That's if somebody was connect to you, you would give them this ID and password. But we're connecting into this other computer that we set up initially. So we're going to hit connect. And now it prompts us for the password. So we got to put in what this password is right here. And then we can log in. And now we've just logged into that computer. And it shows down here that the TeamViewer program is running. There's a session current from this computer here and this ID, which is what we're coming from. So if I look at this here, that's my ID, and that's what it's saying down here, so they know that we are connected to that computer from this ID. And so we can now control this computer and do all kinds of different things. The most important thing is just running any programs that you want to run. But you can see you've got the start button, and you would have access to your web browser and everything that you would have as though you were sitting right in front of that computer. There's nothing any different. If you want to close out of here, you just hit the X in the top right corner and close out of that. There are other options up here, including to close the session straight from here. And you can go through these options and see what else you're capable of doing, such as telling the computer to reboot or sending the Control-Alt-Delete option. But really, if you want to reboot the computer, you've got full access to the Start menu, where you can then hit the power button and restart the computer just like you would as though you were sitting in front of it. And the person that's remotely being controlled, if they wanted to kill the session, they could close that. And it says there, close all connections. So they could kill the session on you if they ever wanted to. But if you're connecting into your own computer, nobody should be there to do that. Now, another quick tip for you is, because you want to keep your computer locked at the office so no one else uses it when you're not there, a quick thing is to lock the screen. So to lock the screen from here, you would go up to Actions and Lock, and then Lock Now. You can also say Lock on Session End, so when the session ends it will lock. I like to hit Lock Now, and we can see the computer is now locked. So we can go ahead and close that session. And that's it. And it reminds you here that it was a free session and that you are able to use it for personal use free. And they're asking, of course, that, you know, play fair. If it is for business, you want to purchase a license. And if you want to try and trick the system, they do have algorithms in place that will detect if you're using this for business use or not. So if you're using it for an extended period of time, they may ask you to purchase the license. So that's it for this tutorial. Hopefully you found it helpful. If so, please give it a thumbs up. Comment below if you have any questions at all. I respond to all comments, and subscribe if you haven't already, and ring the bell to be notified every time we come out with a new video. Thanks so much for watching, guys, and we'll see you in the next video. Bye for now.